Yo yo yo! This is Solo, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt. Yeah, this team's called Grunt. And this is Pokemon Masters EX. Guys, welcome to my Sync Pair Analysis series. This is part 2 where we discuss Hilda and Diancie. Now, if you haven't seen part 1 yet, links will be in the description where I discuss each of the upcoming Sync Pairs, including the original Diantha and Champion Iris. And part 2, which I started with Champion, or rather with Cosplay Diantha, as I would like to call these new Sync Pairs. This is the second one, which is gonna discuss about Cosplay Hilda, who is coming out tomorrow. If you're watching this in premiere date, tomorrow reset time. Or in Asia, at least on November 4, reset time. But before we begin, guys, if you're watching this, if you've been watching my Sync Pair analysis videos, my gem count videos and everything, make sure you help out the channel by giving this a thumbs up. And, you know, subscribe if you haven't. If you've been watching this and you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Just click on the subscribe button, and so you'll be notified whenever I upload these kinds of videos. So, yeah, this is the second one. This is Hilda and Diancie, or Diancie. Yeah, who's coming on November 4. She wears a pink outfit. I had to find my pinkest outfit, and this is what I found. So, we already have Diantha, October 29 last month, or a few days ago. Now it's time for Hilda and Diancie, and after her, we'll have 2 more Sync Pairs. But before Guzma, we'll be having the rerun of the original Diantha and Champion Iris sharing a shared Pokefair Scout coming on November 9, ends on November 23. Now, keep in mind that once Hilda or Cosplay Hilda comes out, I think the banner, the Halloween banner, the rerun banner, I think will end on the same day. Meanwhile, if I'm not mistaken, Fall Caitlyn and Fall Morty will end on November 5 reset time. So you have one last day to scout for Fall Morty and Fall Caitlyn once, you know, Cosplay Hilda comes out. But today, if you're watching this on reset time, is gonna be the last day of Fall Azarola and Fall Hilbert. So if you're gonna scout for them, today's your last chance until you have to wait for a couple more. Guzma comes out on November 11, and then Jasmine comes out on November 18, and every one of these 4 will end on December 9. So, what does she have? Is she interesting? And where is my image? Where the heck is my image? Oh, there it is. So, Cosplay Hilda and Diancie. Well, she's the only Sync Pair that has a Mega Evolution in this update. And let's now watch her Sync move. It's funny how she smiles and then gets mad immediately. Like, what the heck? And the poor Lucario always gets hit. Lucario, you deserve better. Anyway, she's a Rock-type Sync Pair. Rock-type Sync Pair. Rock-type Striker. Out of the 4 upcoming units, or 4 new units of this update, there are only 2 Strikers. That's Hilda and that's Guzma. Diantha, if you're not aware, is a tech Sync Pair. Jasmine is a support Sync Pair. So Hilda is a strike Sync Pair. And she has 2 attack moves, Stone Edge and Diamond Storm. Stone Edge is a 3-move gauge attack that has a higher chance of landing a critical hit. Diamond Storm is an AOE attack, 4-move gauge, and has a 50% chance of raising your defense by 2 levels. So plus 2, 50%. She has X attack, which raises your attack stat plus 2, and Shine On, which is her trainer move. 1 MP, that means you can only use this once, except if you have an MP refresh. Basically raises your speed by 2, raises your accuracy by 2, and raises your critical hit rate to maximum. Now, Diamond Storm's Stone Edge, I think the accuracy is... you have to increase your accuracy. It's not 100% accuracy, so... it will help if you use Shine On first before you use those other attacks, so that you have a maximum critical hit rate as well as an accuracy buff as well. Now, she has a passive skill called Tough Cookie. The higher your defense stat is, the stronger your attacks are gonna be. This will go in line very well with Diamond Storm. And Diamond Storm again has a 50% chance of raising your defense. When your defense gets higher, your attacks get stronger. And then she also has Swag Bag 1, which raises the chances of you increasing your defense stat by 2 levels when you use Diamond Storm. I'm not sure if this is 10% or 20% or somewhere in between, but when you use Diamond Storm because of Swag Bag 1, you have a higher percent chance of raising your defense stat, which is good. And then Head Start 1 basically raises or reduces your sync move countdown by 1 at the very start of the battle, so that you can, you know, use your sync moves quicker when you start the battle. Now, again, I said that she has a Mega Evolution. Once she Mega Evolves, her attack stat goes up to 400 something, her speed stats go up. And then, the interesting thing about her kit is that her Head Start 1 becomes Fuel Economy 1. Basically reduces the number of move gauges allowed or required for her moves. So Stone Edge earlier was 3 move gauge. After Mega Evolving, Stone Edge becomes a 2 move gauge attack, and Diamond Storm becomes a 3 move gauge attack. A 3 move gauge very strong attack that can hit everyone, that can raise your defense. 3 move gauges only, that's a good thing. So Fuel Economy 1, again, you know, once you Mega Evolve, you get to hit the opponent faster, harder. And yeah, it's a nice rock type sync pair, especially now. The only, or rather, the rock type AOE attack that we have is Rock Slide. Raihan has it, a couple of other sync pairs have it, but you know, a lot of the others that have Rock Slide, like for example Emmet has Hit the Gas 5. Emmet rather has the highest DPS, if you want to use that term, damage per second, out of, you know, he has been the, people have been comparing Emmet Blue or Classic Blue and Olivia. And the comment about Emmet is, if you want DPS, you use Emmet. Now Emmet, Rock Slide is a 4 move gauge attack because of Hit the Gas. Meanwhile, Hilda has Diamond Storm, which can potentially be stronger than Emmet's Emmet's Rock Slide, depending on what multipliers you get, depending on how much HP Emmet has. Hilda has a potential to hit harder and faster because Diamond Storm is only a 3 move gauge attack. Tough Cookie is really easy to set up. Just use Diamond Storm and you'll be able to raise your defense stat to max, hopefully quickly, and Mega Evolve to hit harder. And if you do not want to wait 3 move gauges, you can just use Stone Edge, just a 2 move gauge attack once you Mega Evolve. So that's a good thing. And for a striker like this, who can maximize her critical hit rate, one of the best, if not the best, lucky skill to give her is Critical Strike 2. If you've run out of crunchy lucky cookies, she might be a decent defender slash pseudo tanker for physical defense attacks and not special defense attacks. If you want, you can give Vigilance to her, but to be completely frank, the best lucky skill is Critical Strike 2 and Critical Strike 2 alone. So that's Hilda. And now we check out her sync grid, which at 1 out of 5 she gains access to Sand Shelter, but she does not gain any multipliers due to sand. So if you want to run her together with probably Emmet, who benefits from Sandstorm, or Raihan, who also benefits from Sandstorm, together with Ingo, who can, Ingo or Azerula who could set up Sandstorm. I guess you could do that. Just set up Sandstorm, have Sand Shelter on Hilda, and she will not get damage when there's a Sandstorm. 2 out of 5, you gain access to 1 sync move multiplier in the form of Double Down 5. Double Down 5 if the opponent is weak to rock type attacks. Your sync move gets like 50% stronger. Stone Edge Critical Strike 1, basically if you are able to land a critical hit, which is very likely when you use Stone Edge, you will be able to hit harder. And then there's an X attack MP refresh 3. And at 2 out of 5, you gain access to 2 sync nuke tiles to make her sync move hit a little bit harder. At 3 out of 5, this is where things get more interesting. She gains access to not exactly interesting Adrenaline 1. There's a Diamond Storm ramming speed. So the higher your speed stat is, the stronger your Diamond Storm becomes. And again, Diamond Storm is an AOE attack that can raise your defense. Don't forget that we already have Tough Cookie as her passive skill, which basically makes Diamond Storm and Stone Edge stronger as your defense stat goes stronger. Now you have another multiplier, Diamond Storm ramming speed. So the higher your speed stat is, the stronger your Diamond Storm becomes. The higher your defense is, the stronger your Diamond Storm becomes. Diamond Storm becomes a really, really hard hitting attack. Don't forget, Shine On raises your speed stat by 2 levels. So you can begin with powered up Diamond Storm. And then if you want to speed up a little bit more, you either use a support that can raise your speed stat even more, or get Shine On MP Refresh, which is available at 1 out of 5, or get Fast Track 9, which is also available at 3 out of 5, which every single time you use Stone Edge or Diamond Storm, your speed stat go up by 1 level, which is awesome. But there's something that we have to address later, and I'm kind of bummed about that, but stay tuned, we'll get there very soon. She gets Impervious as well at 3 out of 5. Basically, her stats cannot be lowered, or her stats, any stat, cannot be lowered by the opponent. Super Sinker, when you use a sync move, you'll get a super effective up next effect on your next attack once you use a sync move for the first time. If you use another sync move, there's nothing's gonna happen. Sync Regen, after you use a sync move, you gain a regen effect. This will happen every single time you use a sync move, unlike Super Sinker. And then Towering Force is another multiplier for her, which is the sync move counterpart of Tough Cookie. When your defense stat is raised, the stronger your sync move is gonna be. The higher your defense stat is, the stronger your sync move becomes. So Tough Cookie, or rather Double Down 5, if the opponent is weak to rock type attacks, your sync move becomes more powerful. Towering Force, the higher your defense stat is, the stronger your sync move is gonna be. So 2 straight multipliers off the bat. Then if you want Super Sinker, well, you have to time it. Probably either use use red, give her super effective up next, or use Hilda for the sync move, wait and do not attack the opponent at all. And then once the sync move countdown goes down to 0, use Hilda to land super effective up next, Towering Force, and Double Down 5 on the opponent. And then at 3 out of 5, she also gains access to another 2 sync nuke tiles to make her sync move stronger. Now, her sync move does nothing. There's no multiplier built in, unlike Diantha or Cosplay Diantha. There's no multiplier here. She just Mega Evolves, and that's it. Now, let us discuss about her sync grid. I forgot to do this with Diantha. I got too excited to bring the video out. But now I have remembered, this is what her 1 out of 5 grid looks like. Wait. Again. 1 out of 5 grid looks like. So at 1 out of 5, you gain access to almost everything. You will have 1 energy left, and you're free to choose whatever you want to sacrifice. Personally, I just did not choose defense plus 5, as you can see over here to the top left of the screen, because I think I'll prioritize HP or attack stats, speed stats over defense. So there's one thing that we cannot get, and that is defense plus 5. Otherwise, most, if not all, you can get. Now, 1 out of 5 means you get 1 copy of Diantha. She's a limited unit, and she shares Spotlight Scout rates or seasonal rates, which is like a 7% chance of getting a random 5-star, 2% chance of getting Cosplay Hilda. So keep that in mind as well. At 2 out of 5, things get interesting. You have a choice if you want to go for Diamond Storm or Stone Edge. Personally, whatever, if there's a multiplier, I'd say get the multiplier immediately. And that multiplier at 2 out of 5 is Double Down 5, as you can see over here. I got Double Down 5. And this is a Diamond Storm build, at least something that I'll use personally. We got a Move Gauge Refresh 3 over here. We got a couple of Diamond Storm grids, as well as Diamond Storm Accuracy plus 5, which is optional, I guess, because you will be able to raise your own accuracy by 2 levels once you use your trainer move. We got a Sync plus 25 over here. Diamond Storm, Diamond Storm, Diamond Storm. And we got some attack buffs over here, top and bottom. Now, you can also choose a Stone Edge build, which I have built over here. Again, we go for Double Down 5, which is a power up for her Sync move. We got a Sync plus 25 as well, and a Shine on MP refresh that we were not able to get earlier. And then we got Stone Edge Move Gauge Refresh 3, and as a Stone Edge Critical Strike 1 over here. Yeah, this is what I'll probably do if for a Stone Edge build, but personally, I'll go for Diamond Storm build because, you know, you're more likely to use Diamond Storm probably to hit all opponents rather than Stone Edge. And I think Diamond Storm is a lot more powerful than Stone Edge anyway. Now at 3 out of 5, this is what I would build for Diancie. We got Double Down 5 as usual. We got Fast Track 9 so that we can raise our speed stat every single time we attack. We got Diamond Storm Move Gauge Refresh 3, as well as a Diamond Storm Ramming Speed, which I think is very, very essential. And then we got Towering Force. The higher defense stat is, the higher your sync move damage. But, if you look at the right side of the screen, it says remaining energy -1, which means that we do not have enough energy. Now, as you might know, we start with 60 energy. We have to use 60 energy only, and this means that we cannot do this build, which really sucks. I've tried everything. I've tried removing stuff, and it will not allow me, no matter what, to get Ramming Speed, Double Down 5, Fast Track 9, and Towering Force, which really is disappointing. You have a choice here. Your choice is to go for either Ramming Speed or Towering Force. You can go for both, I guess, but you have to risk Shine on MP Refresh too. If I were you guys, either get Fast Track 9 and Ramming Speed without Towering Force, or if you want probably the best option, you can go for Shine on MP Refresh 2. Hope that Shine on does an MP Refresh, meaning once you use Shine on, you raise your speed stat by 2. If there's an MP Refresh, you get another +2 speed, which helps with ramming speed of Diamond Storm. So you get a +4 speed stat for Diancie. You still get Double Down 5, which opponent is weak to rock type attacks. You get to deal stronger sync move damage. And you do not sacrifice Towering Force. So when your defense is raised, or the higher your defense is raised, the stronger your sync move is. And you know, you also have Tough Cookie. The higher your defense is raised, the stronger rammings, or rather the stronger Diamond Storm or Stone Edge is. So I think this is the perfect compromise. Just get a Shine on MP Refresh 2. Hope that you get an MP Refresh. Otherwise, you get Fast Track 9, you get Diamond Storm Ramming Speed. You have to get a Ramming Speed for Diamond Storm because otherwise, there's no point in getting Fast Track 9. You can also probably remove this. Nah. If you want to go for 3 out of 5, you have to go Ramming Speed for Diamond Storm. Cannot see anything good getting her at 3 out of 5 without giving her ramming speed for Diamond Storm. Now, as you can see over here, we did not give her Super Sinker. It's technically impossible with the amount of energy, limited energy that we have. So, I think this will be the perfect compromise. 0 energy left. Diamond Storm Ramming Speed, Diamond Storm Move Gauge Refresh, Shine on MP Refresh 2, Towering Force, and a Sync Nuke power up over here. So we get like 2 multipliers, Towering Force, and Double Down 5 for the Sync move. We get Ramming Speed, and we get Tough Cookie. So 2 multipliers for the normal attacks, and 2 multipliers for the sync move. And I guess that's, again, the perfect compromise for this one. I'm just sad that we cannot get Fast Track 9 Ramming Speed and Towering Force, because that would be awesome. So, we go back to this slide, and yeah, that's our little initial look at Hilda. Now again, Hilda will come out on November 4. Again, Spotlight Scout rates. 7% chance of getting a random 5-star. 2% chance of getting Hilda. And because she is considered a seasonal, she will have a seasonal tiered scout. If you're willing to pay for gems, buy paid gems, again now we can get free gems, but this is not considered paid. Every single day you can get an extra 20 gems. Every single week you can get an extra 100 gems. And every single month you can get an extra 300 gems, but they're considered non-paid gems. If you have paid gems, you can go for the tiered scout route, which gives you a 25% chance of getting Hilda or Cosplay Hilda at tier 5, 7,700 paid gems by passing through tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, or tier 5. 25% chance of getting her in the Great Ticket Scout. And if you're unlucky and you have to go all the way to tier 10, that's 20,200 paid gems in order to get her for sure. If you do not have paid gems and you want to go for the usual normal route, you need 36,600 non-paid gems or a minimum of 36,400 paid and non-paid gems. You have to insert a daily discount there somewhere. 36,400 paid and non-paid gems, or 36,600 non-paid gems in order to get one sure copy of Hilda. Now, how does she compare to the other, units that are coming this month? Well, as you can see over here, her stats are pretty much on the center except for speed. Speed stat is the highest out of everyone. This is considering that Hilda or Diancie has already Mega Evolved. So, her attack stat is not bad, reaches 416. She has the second lowest defense, second to Guzma, but this is typical for strikers. Strikers to have low defense stats. Thankfully, it's not abysmally low. It's somewhere there. It's reaching 150, which is probably not too bad for strikers. HP is on the low side at 584. And, speed. Quite good, honestly. Speed stat is quite good, especially once you Mega Evolve. You are able to only use 2 or 3 move gauge attacks. And you've given her ramming speed, she will be even much more easier to use. DIANTHA, who has come out last week, has the highest HP, has the highest attack or special attack stat. I think it's special attack, because these guys only use one type of attack. It's either attack or special attack. And Hilda uses attack stat, DIANTHA uses special attack stat, Guzma uses attack stat, Jasmine, I think, uses special attack, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, she uses special attack stat. Now, for the multipliers, as you can see over here, Cosplay Diantha has Tough Cookie. Hilda has Tough Cookie as well. And then there is Diamond Storm ramming speed at 3 out of 5. If you got 3 copies, may be able to pull 3 copies of her. Stone Edge Critical Strike 1 is luck at 2 out of 5. You need 2 copies of her. Super Effective up next is locked at 3 out of 5. Again, if you have seen, we have to give her a Super Sinker. Basically, you have to use a sync move on Hilda first, using Hilda first, so that you will have that super effective up next. Tough Cookie is built into her passive skills. For multipliers for sync move, double down 5, lock at 2 out of 5. Super effective up next, same as earlier, Super Sinker. And Towering Force, the higher your defense stat is, the stronger your sync move damage is at 3 out of 5. Then as I have mentioned as well, Guzma is one of the sync pairs that I'm most excited about. Actually, he's the one that I'm most excited about in this entire update. But we are still questioning whether or not the physical moves up next will apply to the sync move or not. So this is a big question mark. We'll know once probably Pokemon Masters releases the trailer of Guzma. If it applies to the sync move, I would love it so much. Please apply to the sync move as well. And Jasmine over here does not have any sync move multiplier. But that's mainly because she's a support. Support sync pairs don't exactly have multipliers unless you're one of the supports that can deal damage, which there are a couple of them with multipliers, but Jasmine is mostly a supporter and not using her to dish out damage. Diantha is probably Diantha's sync move multipliers are very, very easy to set up. You just use your attacks, any attack 6 times in a row. You're able to maximize. Brute Wits is special defense, built-in user defense up, inertia speed. So just use your sync moves, or you just use your attacks 6 times. Meanwhile, Hilda, to use Towering Force, you have a 50% chance, or rather 60 to 65 to 70% chance of raising your defense by 2 levels once you use Diamond Storm. And I think it will not be that difficult to set up Double Down 5 and Towering Force. just make sure that the opponent is weak to rock type attacks. But super effective up next, as you can see over whatever we discussed earlier. It was kind of impossible to get super effective up next because we just don't have enough energy to get everything. We have to sacrifice one, which is quite disappointing. And now if we add Champion Iris and the original Diantha to the equation, we get these additional multipliers, which Diantha gets hit the gas 5, adds an additional move gauge to make your attack stronger, fairy power 5 if the opponent, or rather makes our fairy type attack stronger. Devastation, the lower the opponent's special attack is, the stronger her sync move becomes. And Double Down 2, which is a weaker version of Double Down 5. I'm happy that Hilda gets Double Down 5 and not something like Double Down 2, which is considerably weaker than Double Down 5. If you were to ask me which Diantha is the better one, I would argue that Cosplay Diantha is much better, just because we have a free sync pair in the form of Sycamore. With Sycamore, you do not need any other fairy types. So, you can skip on Diantha. But Champion Iris, I would argue, is one of the best sync pairs and one of the best debuffers in the game. In fact, Champion Iris works very well with Cosplay Diantha over there. Every single time Champion's Iris attacks, because of Piercing Gaze, her attacks will never miss. Every time you use Breaking Swipe, every single opponent reduces their attack stat -2. Every single opponent reduces their special attack -2 whenever you use Snarl. As long as you don't give no status reduction to the opponent in Master Mode. Just take that in mind. So, out of all these sync pairs, I would argue, excluding Jasmine, guys, I would have to discuss or study Jasmine a little bit better. Out of all these 5 sync pairs, I think the most valuable, for me at least, the sync pairs with the most value is Champion Iris and Diantha, or Cosplay Diantha over there. But if you are limited to just, you know, one banner, I would say that probably Champion Iris is the best one, because Cosplay Diantha is, again, shares Spotlight Scout rates, only a 7% chance of getting a random 5-star, and a 2% chance of getting Cosplay Diantha. Meanwhile, if you decide to pull on these combined banners of Diantha and Champion Iris, you have a 10% chance of getting a random 5-star and a 3% chance of getting either of the two. 3% chance. That's 1.5% chance for the normal Diantha and another 1.5% chance of getting Champion Iris. So I think that alone is good enough and a deciding factor. Personally, my opinion, if you want to scout for one banner only, probably scout for this. If you want to have some fun, I think for the fun aspect, the most fun to use sync pair will be Guzma. His mechanic is very risky and tough to use, and for veteran players or any player who want a challenge, his kit involves missing attacks, your own attacks missing the opponent. And if you are interested in learning more about him, I'll be working on his sync pair analysis video next week. Meanwhile, Hilda is on the center side. I mean, she does not bring anything extremely new to the game. She's probably the most average out of everyone. I mean, you know, Diamond Storm is very good. Diamond Storm, only a 3 move gauge attack. You'll be able to attack much faster than what you could do with Emmet. Emmet hits very, very hard, but very, very slow, especially if you're alone. If you're doing a 1 versus 3, 2 versus 3, or 3 versus 3 when the opponent has killed off your other sync pairs. It's very, very, very hard to attack using Emmet. His speed stat is high, but his move gauge requirement, both his attacks are 4 move gauge attacks, and that really sucks. Meanwhile, once Hilda Mega Evolves, again, Stone Edge is only a 2 move gauge attack. Diamond Storm is only a 3 move gauge attack, and it would be so much easier, so much faster to attack using Hilda compared to Emmet. So, let's not limit ourselves to Emmet. I've been talking about Emmet non-stop. But aren't there any other rock types? Yes, there are. There's Classic Blue, there is Olivia, and there's Raihan. Olivia has Rock Throw, which is just a 1 move gauge attack. Raihan has Rock Slide, but Raihan is a Steel type sync pair. Classic Blue has, I think he has 2 move gauge, 3 move gauge. Does he have a 4 move gauge attack? I don't want to check my phone anymore, but he has Ancient Power, 2 move gauge. He has Hyper Beam. Oh yeah, Hyper Beam, 4 move gauge, and Double Edge. Forgot if it was 3 move gauge or 4 move gauge attacks. He can handle both physical attacks and special attacks in his kit. Meanwhile, Raihan only has Stone Edge because his other attacks are, other typing. Olivia has the highest defense and special defense out of everyone, which is interesting, but has the lowest HP, but just a little bit lower than Hilda's HP or Cosplay Hilda's HP. Raihan, on the other hand, has the highest HP at 798, but that's probably because he also has a move that can deal Steel Beam, which deals recoil damage to yourself. Whenever you use it, whether you hit the enemy or not, Steel Beam will deal recoil damage to you unless you get recoil removal on his grid, which I think is luck at 3 out of 5 if I'm not mistaken. Meanwhile, Emmet has the lowest attack stat and defense stat, and again, his speed stat is quite high, as you can see over there. It's 380, it's even faster than Hilda. But if you actually use him in battle, you'll see how bad his speed is, because all his attacks are 4 move gauge attacks, and it's super hard to use Emmet, especially if you're using Champion Stadium ally move gauge max -2, and if you do not have any other supports that can raise speed stat, it's quite problematic using Emmet. But Emmet, despite his low attack stat, has a couple of passive skills that actually raise his attack stat quite a lot. He has Healthy Strength, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, his attack stat goes up plus 50% when his HP is above 50%, and something like that. Meanwhile, Blue can hit both attack and special attacks, and Blue has the highest special attack out of everyone. But again, stats are not everything. Let us check the multipliers that they have. So over here, as we can see earlier, Hilda has these multipliers over there. Meanwhile, Classic Blue has Critical Strike 1 at 3 out of 5. Double Edge super effective 2, super duper effective 2 out of 5 if the opponent is weak to rock type attacks. Double Edge will deal stronger damage because Double Edge is a rock type attack because of his passive skill. Rock something, I forgot. And then Surging Sand 1, when it is sandstorming, deals more damage. with your attacks. Again, anything with Surging Sand, with Sand, with Sand, with Sand. As you can see over here, Classic Blue, Emmet, Olivia, and Raihan all have Sand multipliers. Classic Blue has Surging Sand 1, Emmet has Sand Superiority 3, Olivia has Surging Sand 3, Raihan has Surging Sand 3, which, again, Hilda or Cosplay Hilda does not have any Sand multipliers, but she can synergize well with the other rock type users because she has Sand Shelter. But again, if you can see over here, we try to give a 3 out of 5. We could not possibly give Sand Shelter to her because we do not have enough energy to do that. 2 out of 5, I also was not able to give Sand Shelter, but you can actually give Sand Shelter if you want. 1 out of 5, you can give Sand Shelter. It's completely up to you, but 3 out of 5 is close to impossible. So, with these multipliers, Classic Blue also has Haymaker. The higher your attack stat is, the stronger your sync move damage is. Critical Strike 1 also applies to the sync move. Emmet, Healthy Power Up 1, 3 out of 5. Basically, if you're full HP, you'll be able to deal around 10 to somewhere above 10% more damage. Healthy Strength 5, again, if you have more than 50% HP, your attack stat, despite it being 312 over here, 312 times 0.5 plus 312. So let me just use my calculator right now. 312 times 1.5. Your attack stat is 468. If you have more than 50% HP, your attack stat is actually 468, which is the highest out of everything. If you have full HP, or if you have more than 50% HP. Hit the Gas 5, again, makes your attacks use one more move gauge in exchange for higher power. Which, again, because his attacks initially start at 3 move gauge, they all become 4 move gauge attacks, and he becomes really, really slow. Sand Superiority 3 powers up your sand or your attacks if it is sandstorming, and I think this also prevents damage in a sandstorm. And then Stone Edge Critical Strike 2, basically if it's a critical hit, your Stone Edge becomes more powerful. Now it's sad, if Hilda only gets like Sand Superiority, she will be even stronger, but apparently she does not, the game does not want to give her any sand multipliers, so that's that. And then Emmet also has Healthy Strength 5, which again applies to the sync move, I think. And Sand Blaster 5, if it is sandstorming, your sync move gets increased by around 50%. Olivia, on the other hand, Surging Sand 3, and then Inertia, the higher your speed stat is, the stronger your sync move damage. Sand Blaster 5, again, same thing. If it's sandstorming, stronger damage. 2 out of 5, meaning you only need 2 copies of Olivia in order to activate her multipliers over there. And then Raihan, again, a Steel type sync pair, gets Sand Blaster 5, but that's a Steel type sync move, super effective up next. Let's just disregard sync move multiplier for Raihan. Let's just focus on that. Super effective up next is built into his, I think, trainer move. Once you use a trainer move, you'll be able to land a super effective attack. Surging Sand 3 when it's sandstorming, stronger attack. Tough Cookie, 3 out of 5, higher defense stat, stronger damage. Now, with these multipliers, let us go again to the numbers, which I have to clarify again. Thank you to my Discord chat or Discord server members, Jack and Bernard, for doing the calculations. And this is what we get. Now, again, with the calculations, I think all Sync Grid tiles activated. If there's a need for Sandstorm, there's gonna be a Sandstorm. Everything 20 out of 20. And Unity bonus whatsoever. Basically, all the multipliers, all the maximum damage, super effective up next is also considered here. So imagine everyone got their super effective up next. And many other things that I will not discuss anymore. If you want the technical details, go to my Cosplay DIANTHA video where I discuss each one of them. So, we're disregarding Raihan's sync move multipliers over here. So you can see, red means the highest, blue is the lowest. And Olivia has the lowest DPS at 1,631,064. And then Emmet has the highest DPS at 3,275,251. Meanwhile, the sync move multiplier or sync move, why is it called sync move multiplier? It's supposed to be sync move nuke damage. Sync move nuke thing, Emmet has the lowest one, disregarding Raihan again, at 5,552,064. Meanwhile, Olivia has the highest sync nuke damage, 7,784,626. That's considering also that you only need 2 copies of Olivia in order to do this. But I think 5 out of 5, I'm not sure if it's 5 out of 5 or just 3 out of 5 is required in order to do this. Emmet, you need, in order to get Sandblaster 5, you need him at 3 out of 5. Olivia, you only need 2 copies to activate her multipliers. Meanwhile, Classic Blue is stronger in DPS compared to Cosplay Hilda, but is weaker in sync nuke damage compared to Cosplay Hilda. Cosplay Hilda, as you can see, has the second strongest sync nuke damage at 6,293,414, just next to Olivia. And the DPS of Cosplay Hilda is actually lower than Classic Blue and Emmet, which is surprising considering that she has Tough Cookie, she has ramming speed. Yeah, and it's surprising that her DPS is lower, but you have to take note as well that we are considering the strongest attack in these DPS computations. So for Olivia, that's Stone Edge. For Emmet, that's not sure if it's Stone Edge or Rock Slide. For Classic Blue, we're talking about Hyper Beam or Double Edge. And for Cosplay Hilda, we're talking about Diamond Storm. Take note that Classic Blue's Hyper Beam, Emmet's, attacks are 4 move gauge attacks. Meanwhile, Cosplay Hilda, strongest attack, only 3 move gauge, 1 She Mega Evolve. So keep that in mind. She's able to deal a little bit less damage compared to the 2, but at a faster rate because you only need 3 move gauges for Diamond Storm and only 2 move gauge for Stone Edge. So yeah, I think that's a nice compromise over there. And yeah, Cosplay Hilda, it's gonna be an interesting sync pair to use. Yeah, she's kind of in between everyone, and I cannot wait to use her, but not as much as I want to use Guzma, because Guzma still interests me, and because Guzma is the boss of Team Skull, and your hardest Team Skull grunt, and so on and so forth. And with that said, guys, I think we have reached the end of our thing. But keep in mind that, these videos are here to help you, get a better understanding of these sync pairs. They're not meant to coax or force you to scout for anything. Choose your faves. Choose your favorites. Scout for whoever you want. Don't, just follow what we say. We're here to guide you, but not force you into doing anything. So, hope you found this analysis helpful. And if you did, make sure to smash the thumbs up button down below. And you know, these videos take very long to do. I decided to split my videos because this takes forever. And you know, I've been sick for the last couple of days because I've been overworking myself. So, you know, a subscribe and a thumbs up would be very much appreciated. Every single thumbs ups help YouTube, you know, with the algorithm and help this video get more exposure for others. And you know, we're trying to reach our goal of 10,000 subs. And once we reach that, thank you so much for making that happen. Hopefully we get there soon. I doubt we'll be able to get there before the year ends, but hopefully we get there soon. Who knows? Maybe some miracle will happen. And with that said, that's it. DIANTHA has already come out. Cosplay Hilda will come out tomorrow. If you're watching this, my premiere date. Guzma is coming like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 days, 1 week after Hilda, and then Jasmine is coming 7 days after Guzma. And if you are willing to wait a little bit, I am gonna scout for everyone. You'll be able to see me use them and you'll be able to judge for them. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna force myself to get 3 out of 5 on day 1 because trying to save, and I'll definitely aim to get them 3 out of 5 before their banners end. But on day 1, I'll be thinking, I'm probably gonna be satisfied with just 1 copy. Unless Hilda is gonna be very cooperative, just like how DIANTHA came to me. Thank you, DIANTHA, for the awesome scouts. Guzma, I'll probably aim for 3 out of 5 on day 1 because I'm really excited for Guzma. But if you wanna see my analysis on Guzma as well as Jasmine, make sure you're subscribed, make sure your notifications are on, click on the bell button, turn notifications to all so that you'll be notified once I post that video next week, and probably next week for Jasmine. And yeah, if you are curious as to how I would describe these two, I do a more in-depth discussion on them on my original Who to Scout For video, so check that out in the link in the description as well. Thank you everyone for all the love in my gem count and sync pair analysis videos. Those thumbs ups really mean a lot to me. And with that said, thank you once again to all my awesome members up there. You guys really help out a lot, especially this pandemic where my parents have been asking me to go get a job soon because, you know, I lost my job. I'm a yoga teacher. I've been a yoga teacher for a couple of years. And yoga, you know, it's like a contractual work at the gym. And since the pandemic, I've been jobless. I'm just hoping that the gym classes, not the gyms, because the gyms are already open. Gym classes are finally offered once again, and hopefully the gyms that I work with in the past hire me again, because some of them actually closed down. And those were the good, high-paying gyms as well. And they lost business. They closed down. And that really sucks. The pandemic has affected a lot of people, including me, and I'm just thankful to you guys up there and to all my super chatters for all the help this past year. Thank you so much. Once you reach 1 year, I'll be sending you guys a gift. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. If you're not able to support like them, that's okay. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you give this a thumbs up. That's enough for me. And, you know, just comment something in the comment section. It's been a while since I've seen lots of comments. And I try my best to react to at least give a thumbs up and a heart to each one. Sometimes I'm not able to do so, but I do see your comments. And I'll try my best one day to hopefully react, at least give a heart or a thumbs up to each one. Try my best, but I see them every single day. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed my analysis. That was my Synchro analysis for Hilda and Diancie. Good luck on your scouts if you are scouting. And with that said, this is Solo, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt. The artist team's called Grunt. And I will see you in the next video. Right.